Hi, my name is Gabriel Rodriguez. I'm a chemical engineering grad student here at the University of Texas at Austin. I work at the biomaterials lab, and what we do here is design, modify, and test different materials that could be used for different applications in the biomedical field. Particularly, my project is related to develop a material to treat patients that suffer from irregular pacing of the heart that is called ventricular arrhythmias. And this is one of the leading causes of sudden death in the United States. Approximately 1,000 people on average die per day. When we think about the heart, our heart is a muscle that pumps blood to all our body to provide oxygen. When we have a healthy tissue, we have a very nice cell coupling, as we can see here in this image in here, and that allows for very fast and smooth transition, communication of the electrical signal to all the heart. Here we can see in this image, we have a heart that generates its own electrical signal in the right atrium here, and that electrical signal moves to the atria here to the upper chambers of the heart, to also the lower chambers are called the ventricles, and that causes some synchronized contraction between 60 to 100 beats per minute. When a patient suffers a heart attack and other diseases that affect the myocardium, that means the heart muscle, that causes some death of source center cells. And that cells that are dead just affect the communication between the remaining cells, creating a slow conduction pathway. And that's a problem with the communication of the electrical signal. And that could result in what is called some recurrence, as we can see in this image here, that's causing some chaotic conduction in the heart. So that chaotic conduction in the heart will result in less blood being pumped to our bodies. That means less oxygen being supplied. And if they're not treated immediately within minutes, that will cause the patient death. So my research and our approach is we're trying to provide an injectable electrode. So that will mean a material that will provide communication of the electrical signal across the scar tissue. So what we're proposing to do is having a liquid material that we injected in a vein across the scar, and that material would react in the vein and form a gel and convert then the vein into an electrode. That means that we're going to have electrical transmission across the scar tissue. So that material needs to be conductive. It will be connected to a power source as a pacemaker to provide some synchronized contraction and control of the pacing of the heart. So the material that we are proposing to use is called a hydrogel. And hydrogels are kind of materials that we use in our daily life. It's a 3D network structure that can swell and hold significant amount of water and maintains its chemical structure. There's a wide variety of applications where we use hydrogels. We can do in terms of food, when we have gelatin dessert, medical devices, in terms of contact lenses, and other things as diapers, other creams that are used for different applications. So when we are thinking specifically what we're trying to do for our application, so we will have a material, polymer precursor that we particularly are using what is called polyethylene glycol macromer. So that's a large molecule that we can hear is represented here, so for example, by this drawing here. And at the end of that long molecule, we can have different reactive group that will allow to what is called cross-linking. That means that these molecules could react one another and form the 3D network structure that we can see here. By changing the length of these molecules, also the chemistry, we can tune the mechanical properties, the stability of these molecules in the body. The other thing that we have in the solution is what is called an initiator. Particularly, we're using like an ammonium persulfate. So this material will create some radicals that will trigger the reaction. And depending on the concentration, the reaction could go slower or faster. And another component, we will have some nanoparticles that is also to improve the conductivity of these materials. Also, by changing these concentrations, also we can also affect the conductivity of these materials. So here we have an example in terms of what have been done with our collaborators in the Texas Heart Institute. So they were able to inject material into a heart. In this case, they were using a pig heart model, and we they add a contrast agent to this solution that we provided, and by looking at X-ray, we're very excited to see that we demonstrate that it's feasible to inject these hydrogels into the heart and also access other small tributaries. And that's great news because at least it tells in principle that the first part in terms of what we're proposing to do is something that we can do. We still have a lot to do to test in terms of the mechanical properties of this material, in terms of the conductivity, but we're very excited in terms of some of the progress that we have done so far. If you have any more questions, you can just send me an email, and also you can check our account in Twitter. So thank you very much and have a good day.